Welcome to the Kyber Lab, episode 7. We have a Nest solo against a Poggle, Droideka, and Sunfac team. The Kyber Lab is focused on maximizing banners, minimizing mistakes, and removing RNG altogether. So, let's see here. This is a good example of where you can use Nest, even in especially in this new format of 3v3 with the expanded roster requirements. Having a relic Nest can serve you really well in terms of banners and saving your roster against a variety of teams, even if they're all relic. What you look for is characters that cannot do massive single target damage. This is a great example because Droideka does damage based upon the speed difference between the droid and the target. So Nest usually is pretty slow, so you're not going to get a lot of true damage. Then we'll do additional damage for each stack of charge. So it's not one big hit, it's a number of smaller hits. So perfect for Nest. Gear check. Generally, you want your Nest to be equal of relic to the average of all of the characters on the other team. Some exceptions being for like a Django or you're not going to really, besides Django, maybe Jedi Knight Anakin or Ahsoka. You want Nest to be higher relic if they're on the enemy team. And it helps that they generate buffs because that generates damage. Critical damage for Nest. Make sure Nest is slow in this matchup mainly because of Droideka, but in general you want Nest to be slow. Speed doesn't really matter. RNG almost nothing. Hit auto target Droideka. Again, this is a situation where there's a lot of teams you can use Nest against. This is just a good example of one with dangerous characters. But for Nest, they're not dangerous whatsoever. It helps that Nest's basic removes the buffs. So in this case, there's really no need even to go on manual play. There goes the buffs. Really just targeting Droideka. Her basic also cannot be avoided. You can see all the small hits there just gave her protection. So no issue whatsoever. And with the lack of evasion, with evasion not making any difference to Nest, it's very easy to take out Droideka, who can be a challenging character in 3v3. And yeah, it's going to end up with, I think, 55 banners here, assuming the buffs from Poggle actually make a difference too and boost Nest damage. Yeah, super easy fight. And 55 banners. Nest is extremely flexible in this format. Remember, when you're using her to solo, look for characters that don't do massive single target damage. Or healing immunity, for instance, can be problematic. But even healing immunity without any massive single target damage, depending on which characters there are, you can still win against it. But perfect textbook example of a great place to use Nest. Hope it helped.